Hey, what's up, guys? Andrew Lusk here from the Road to Hope 2021 now. I just want to update you all and tell you exactly what happened from the 1st of February. So what happened was on the 1st of February at 2 o'clock, I took off on the N2 from North Coast Road. And the reason why I took off so late was because I was hoping to find a second sponsor that morning, someone to help me with a second pair of shoes, a hat, and it didn't come through, so I started late and I took off on the N2, booked it in the middle island, my first corner, made it around under the bridge, and holy smokes was it scary. I couldn't figure out left, right, middle. I don't know if it was going to be like this the whole run, but I made it. And then I was coming up just before Pavilion and I saw an accident on the road, and I ran over to the cops and asked them if everything was okay. I asked them if it's safe for me to run here. They said no, it's not safe for you to run here. Not this area, I work here, it's bad. There's a squatter camp right here, it's very dangerous. Let me take you to Pavilion, and then from behind Pavilion it's fine. So they reckon that it was just before Pavilion. And I booked it. Well, I was supposed to book it from Pavilion to Chase Wakeford's house in Hillcrest, and he was going to meet me and second me, but it took him about an hour to get to me, and by that time it was 5 o'clock, sun was going down, and we decided to just go back to his place. From there I spent the night, I spent the whole day sleeping, even though he didn't want me to sleep. I don't know why he didn't want me to sleep. And then up at 1 o'clock, and then stayed awake the whole night. It was very uncomfortable, couldn't get my yoga in. It was just, I didn't feel like it was, I didn't feel comfortable there. I didn't feel like I belonged, you know what I mean? I felt like I was in everyone's way. It was a nightmare. Anyway, made it through to the morning, ready to go for Pietermaritzburg, on the road. I wanted to be on the road by 5, but only managed to get to where I needed to get to by 9 because I needed another cell phone to track me. This phone over here is completely wrecked. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. It dies within 20 minutes. Anyway. I managed to get this. I picked this phone up at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Took me forever to get it to work. It was second hand. Didn't think it was going to work, and it ended up working. Got my tracking app onto it, and then I was off. 11 o'clock on the road, on Old North Coast Road. And it was nice, and there were lots of buildings, and it was good. And then the first corner, second corner, straight up the hill from there. It was just uphill from there, and just kept going and going and going. And I made it all the way up to the top of that hill, and then all the way down. I passed the halfway mark for the comrades, and I was going and I was going and I was going, and this lady saw me and she was like, "Oh, I need a hat, please, can I have a hat? It's hot out here." So I gave her my hat, and she wished me best and sent me on my way. And then I came across a school, and there was a minibus that was stuck on the grass, so I jumped off in the minibus and helped these guys push this minibus back onto the road. Took me about 15 minutes, and I kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going, and then I came up to Camperden, and I stopped at the police station for some directions because I was a bit lost, and they said go this way, that way, this way, that way, and I found my way, and I was on my way again. And at Camperden is where I lost my bank card. I have no idea where it went. I'm pretty convinced that bank cards have the ability to go legs and feet and climb their way out of your wallet, pocket, or wherever they are, because they are disappearing all the time. I don't get it. Running and running and running and running and running. Got myself a Red Bull, big one, sugar free. Running and running and running, and then I came up to a main road, and then Mbepe from the Camperdown police station came up to me and he said, "You probably get lost over here. Let me show you which way to go." And he seconded me for about 8 kilometers and showed me the direction. And he turned off onto the N3 and said, "I'm going this way. You go down this way." And it was pretty much right there as I was going under the bridge to get into Pietermaritzburg, to get to the bottom of the big hill. Got to the corner, turned, went up the big hill, and at this point I was booking it. So I was really booking it because I was scared that I wasn't going to make it by the time the sun got down. And I just went and went and went and pushed and pushed and pushed, and then eventually made it to the B&B in Pietermaritzburg, but it was the wrong B&B, so I had to go somewhere else. And then I went to go get money and food from the shops, and that's exactly when I realized I didn't have my card, and I knew I was in trouble. So stopped at a bar, asked some people for some help. They bought me a pizza, got me a beer, a milk stout. It was delicious. And then Julian Stevens got me an Uber to my accommodation, thanks to Charlene Newdahl, who paid for it last night. And then I got some money from June Dix, Jared Watson, and I think it was Lloyd Tate. I'll have to double check that last one. And that got me my accommodation yesterday. Pretty much got me the phone. I got some food. Jared Watson gave me another 200 Rand today, which got me food today. Got me dragon fruit, all sorts of things. Some beetroot juice, some sweet potatoes, some broccoli, some eggs, some avocados, and a banana and dragon fruit for tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm staying awake pretty much the whole night. The bathroom tap upstairs doesn't work in the bath, so I've taken 2 5-litre drums of water, up, down and up, down and up, dropped it in big pot of hot water, boiled it, threw it in, and took a quick bath. And now I have to take about another 3 of those buckets up into the water. I also did my washing of my clothes, which is over here, just getting dried by the fan, so I hope it's dry by the morning. And I'm going to get another 4 or 5 buckets now, pop it in. I'm going to take like half a bag of ice, throw the bag of ice in there, and then I need to do a lot of cooling. I have to keep my body temperature low. So I'm going to sit in that water for about 20 minutes, get nice and cold, take it out. Then I'm going to do half an hour yoga on my feet, 8 minutes of yoga on my calves, 20 minutes of yoga on my hamstrings, 23 minutes of yoga on my psoas, another 8 minutes of yoga on hip openers, and then I have another 10 minutes of yoga on my shoulders. Once I've done that, then I'm jumping back into the bath with another set of 5 buckets of water and ice, and then I'm going to pre-cool, and then I might do a little bit more yoga before the run, but I doubt it. It'll probably be around about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm on the road straight to Moy River, 45 kilometers. So I've got no more money on me. It's been spent on accommodation, food, cell phones, and just replenishments to keep me going. So I'm going to call Moy River now, see if they got accommodation, and if anyone can help me out with accommodation for tomorrow night and the night after, I can be on my way. Now I would go every single day to do this run, but because I'm doing it by myself, I want to make sure that I get enough rest before I do the next day's run. And if I did have a second, I would really go for 60 to 80 kilometers a day, but it's just too dangerous to push that limit by yourself. So I've set myself an average of 45 Ks every 2 days, which is a marathon every 2 days. And if I run at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, I should get to my destination by 12 o'clock as it gets hottest. So for the past 3-4 days, I've been running at the hottest time of the day. So it's a bit dangerous, but I'm not worried. And everyone that I've asked and passed on the way, is it safe to run and walk this way, they said it's fine. So just pray for me, and this is all for gender-based violence, because fear is what this whole run about is. It's very scary to run from Joburg to Durban by yourself. Durban to Joburg by yourself. The dangers are a list. There's a list of dangers for that run, and it makes me wonder. 2020, when I got denied what I wanted again one more time, and I almost made it out, and I didn't. Got me wondering about, I looked at all the problems that we're having, and gender-based violence was the most similar one that I ever had. Imagine all these women that were in 2020 about to get out from these horrible situations that they were in, an abusive husband or an abusive wife or abusive son or abusive daughter, whoever it was that was abusive to them, they probably were going to get out in 2020 and they couldn't. It just told them, no, you can't, you're going to have to stay here and take this abuse, and they couldn't do anything. And I'm sure they got hope. Hope is probably the only thing that kept them going. So that's what this is. I just got hope that I'll get to Joburg alive, and if I make it, I'll probably bask in adulation and everlasting glory. But if I don't, then I'd rather have, tried to get there as, I'd rather have left and done this and gone for it as a good man than stay in Durban and watch myself day by day slowly turning into a monster until eventually, something would have killed me that way, or I would have, something could have done this way. I could have, it was for me, it was the problem was the bar. Just once or twice a week was enough just to ruin all the progress that I'd made. The people aren't forgiving, they're ruthless and relentless. It was tough at work, it was tough at home. The bar was the only escape I had, and it just made things worse. You don't want to go home, so you go to the bar, have a drink, have 2 more, have 3 more, have a shooter, get home, don't get enough rest, you're tired at work, they get angry at you at work because you're not doing well. Then you go home and maybe the boss gave your mom some trouble that day again, and your mom is not giving it to you, and it was driving me crazy. I couldn't do it. I was dying slowly there. So I didn't do this run to die. I did this run to live. I really want to live. I want to really experience life, and this is just one of the ways that I think that I can help. And in regards to the gender-based violence, I've been asking women all along the way, how can we help? What's going to be the difference? And a lot of them are telling me that if we can get them pepper spray, if you can get I got the statistics. It's like 56 million people in South Africa. Half of those are women. It's 27.5 or 20, 26, 20, 56, 25. It's 27 or so million women. 1 in 5 are abused. So that's 27. 1 of 5 is 8, 6, 7, 6. So that's 6 to 8 million women that are being abused. And you wonder, if you put pepper spray into 8 million women's hands, would it make a difference? And I think it would. I think give them a fighting chance. And for those that are stuck at home, just know that you're not alone. Know that there's hope. Sometimes you gotta walk through hell to get to heaven. It's the only way sometimes. Will I make it? Will I make it?